Welcome. Today, we're diving into some of the most valuable coins in U.S. history, the steel pennies and copper wheat pennies. These little coins made of steel and copper could be worth way more than their face value, and in some cases, they might even make you a millionaire. Let's explore which ones are worth huge money and why they might just be your ticket to a fortune. First up, the 1943 wheat penny is one of the most famous coins in U.S. numismatics due to its unique composition. During World War II, there was a significant shortage of copper because it was being used for ammunition and other war materials. As a result, the U.S. Mint made a crucial decision to switch from the traditional copper material to steel for pennies. These pennies were coated in zinc, making them appear silver in color. However, not all 1943 steel pennies were created equal. Variations in mint marked D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and certain manufacturing errors have made these coins even more collectible and valuable. Coins with lamination damage are particularly intriguing to collectors because of the rare nature of the defect. The design of the 1943 wheat penny remained largely unchanged from earlier years. The obverse features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse, designed by Felix Slag, features the iconic wheat ears that give the coin its common name, the wheat penny. The D mint mark is located below the date, identifying it as having been minted in Denver. Lamination damage occurs when the layers of metal do not properly bond during the minting process, causing a peeling or flaking of the coin's surface. The 1943 D steel wheat penny had a total mintage of about 91 million coins. However, most of these pennies did not survive in pristine condition, as the steel was prone to rust and corrosion over time. A 1943 D in lamination damage condition adds a unique element to the coin's value, as the error can make it stand out among other examples. Lamination damage on a 1943 D can significantly increase its value, depending on the severity of the damage and the overall condition of the coin. A 1943 D steel penny in lamination damage condition can fetch anywhere from $367,300 at auction, with particularly rare or well-preserved specimens reaching even higher values, especially if the lamination error is pronounced. Errors like lamination damage have always sparked interest in the numismatic community because they make each coin a unique specimen. Collectors who specialize in error coins, such as struck through errors or die cracks, often seek out these rarities to add to their collections. Additionally, the historical significance of the 1943 steel penny, which was produced in the midst of wartime production shortages, makes this coin an even more attractive investment for collectors and investors alike. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is another coin that holds a special place in the history of U.S. numismatics. While the 1944 penny was part of a massive mintage during World War II, it is notable for certain features and variants, particularly the 1944 large date with the S mint mark and a distinct black color shade, which is often seen in dirty condition. The year 1944 saw the U.S. engaged in the latter stages of World War II, and wartime coinage was being heavily influenced by the shortages of metals. The copper used for coins like the penny was being rationed, and instead, a high percentage of steel was used to mint coins, which is why many wartime pennies have a duller look compared to their predecessors. In 1944, the U.S. Mint produced a substantial amount of pennies, with the S mint mark indicating coins minted in San Francisco. The 1944 penny's status was further affected by its place in the series, as it marked a pivotal time when coinage design was about to change after the end of the war. The 1944 wheat penny features the same classic design by Victor David Brenner, with Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse side showcases two sheaves of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. The S mint mark on this coin denotes its origin at the San Francisco Mint, a crucial detail for collectors. While the design is iconic, the 1944 large date with the S mint mark is also notable for its color and condition. The black color shade seen in some of these coins, often referred to as a blackened or dirty penny, is usually a result of exposure to environmental factors like smoke, dirt, or chemical reactions over time. This shade can affect the coin's overall market value and collector demand. The mintage of the 1944 penny was massive, with over 1 billion pennies produced in that year. However, despite the high mintage, the condition of the coin, especially when found in a unique or unusual state like the dirty black shade, significantly influence its value. The standard 1944 wheat penny typically sells for around $20,000 in normal grades, but when a coin is in better condition or exhibits unique traits, such as the unusual black coloration, it can be sold for higher amounts at auctions. In dirty or less than perfect condition, these coins may not reach their maximum market potential, but they still generate interest, particularly if they exhibit other unusual features or errors. In general, the 1944 large date with the S Mint mark is prized for its historical significance, as it represents a wartime year when production challenges were prevalent. Collectors are drawn to the 1944 penny for its connection to wartime America, and the blackened coloration is often seen as an intriguing characteristic. While it's not an error per se, it does make this coin stand out from others in the series. Additionally, the large date variation and the S Mint mark continue to hold collector interest, even if the coin is not in pristine condition. Coins with significant toning, die errors, or wear patterns may command higher prices in auctions due to the rarity of such specimens. Next up, the 1943 S Steel Wheat Penny was produced during the U.S. Mint's shift to steel coins in response to copper shortages during World War II. The S Mint mark indicates that this penny was minted in San Francisco, adding another layer of rarity compared to its more commonly found counterparts minted in Denver and Philadelphia. The year 1943 is crucial because it was the only year in U.S. history that pennies were made from steel rather than copper. The steel core was coated with zinc, which gave the coin a silvery appearance. Collectors often refer to these as wartime pennies because of the specific context under which they were minted. However, the real appeal to numismatists today lies not just in the fact that this coin was made from steel, but in the errors that occurred during its minting, particularly the lamination damage that is unique to some example. The design of the 1943 S Steel penny is essentially the same as other wheat pennies from this period. On the obverse, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's profile along with the inscription "In God We Trust," and the year of minting. The reverse displays the 2 stalks of wheat with the coins E pluribus un a motto and the mint mark beneath. Lamination damage occurs when layers of the coin's metal do not bond together properly during the minting process. This issue can result in areas where the coin surface begins to flake off or peel. While lamination damage can occur on any coin, it is relatively rare and even more so on coins that were minted in large quantities like the 1943 S. The total mintage of the 1943 S Steel penny was about 100 million coins. While these coins were produced in large numbers, only a small fraction remain in good condition today. Lamination damage can either lower or enhance the value of a coin, depending on how it's perceived by collectors. Generally, coins with lamination errors are seen as more interesting to collectors as they are distinctive. A 1943 S Steel Wheat penny in lamination damage condition is worth anywhere from $434,500, depending on the degree of the damage. Well-preserved examples, where the damage is more subtle, might fetch even higher prices at auctions. For collectors interested in error coins, the 1943 S Steel penny with lamination damage is an exceptional find. This coin is a prime example of a historical accident, one that adds to the story of how the U.S. Mint operated under wartime conditions. Error collectors are particularly drawn to coins like this because they offer a unique window into the minting process, showcasing the imperfections that can arise even during mass production. Given the rarity of the 1943 S Steel penny in general, adding the layer of lamination damage makes it a coin that could be highly desirable to the right buyer. Prices can fluctuate, but collectors are likely to pay more for a coin with distinctive errors. Next up, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Cent marks the end of the YE era and represents an important transitional moment in U.S. coinage. After years of wartime production disruptions, the U.S. Mint was ready to resume regular coin production for circulation. The obverse of the coin features one of the most iconic images in American coinage, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design, which was first introduced in 1909, was retained throughout the entire run of the Lincoln wheat pennies, symbolizing Lincoln's legacy and the ideals of freedom and democracy. The reverse features 2 stalks of wheat on either side of the phrase E pluribus unum with 1 cent engraved below. The wheat motif was chosen to symbolize the agricultural foundation of the United States, which was still very much the backbone of the economy at the time. Despite being one of the last years for the wheat reverse, the 1946 Lincoln penny is often overshadowed by earlier, rarer years, like the 1909 Sesvidai or the 1914. However, certain 1946 pennies, especially those in poor or unique conditions, have attracted attention due to rare characteristics like damage or unintentional errors. In this case, we're looking at a 1946 penny in a rare, almost pristine scratches, dot damage, and red color shade condition. Now, you may be wondering, how does damage affect the value of a coin? It actually depends on the nature and extent of the damage. Collectors typically shy away from heavily damaged coins, but the 1946 Lincoln penny has garnered interest due to the uniqueness of its condition. The scratches and dot damage on the surface tell a story of circulation and handling that can provide insight into its journey through history. The red color shade is particularly intriguing because it signals the coin has maintained some level of copper's original reddish hue, which is typically seen in pennies that have not been exposed to environmental wear or tarnish. Even though it's in damaged condition, this coin still holds significant value for collectors interested in coins that possess historical wear. It's this historical wear, it's this history and the fact that it represents the post-war American spirit that makes it desirable. The design of the 1946 Lincoln penny is not unusual for the time, but its condition and subtle imperfections make it stand out. The obverse of the coin features Brenner's familiar Lincoln portrait, which is highly detailed and captures the seriousness and resolve of the U.S. President. The reverse, with its iconic wheat stalks, is also cleanly executed, although minor imperfections like scratches and dots can obscure some of these details, making the coin a more challenging but ultimately rewarding piece for collectors. What sets this coin apart is its noticeable color variation due to the red shade, which indicates a well-preserved copper surface that has been untouched by environmental damage over the years. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny had a total mintage of approximately 1.2 billion coins, making it one of the more common coins in the series. But when it comes to rare coins, the condition often plays a much larger role than the mintage numbers. For most 1946 pennies, their value is relatively low, ranging from thousands of dollars in average condition. However, as we've discussed, coins that show unique characteristics, like damage, wear, and color changes, can see their values increase, especially if they're part of an interesting historical narrative. For example, a well-preserved 1946 Lincoln penny in average condition could go for around $36,000 in today's market. But a penny with noticeable color variation and minor damage could fetch up $38,000 or more. Coins with this specific combination of features, scratches, dot damage, and red color, are more niche and collectible, so they can command higher prices in specialized auction markets. Collectors tend to be intrigued by coins that possess unusual features or flaws that deviate from the norm. Coins like the 1946 Lincoln penny, with red color shades or subtle imperfections, might not appeal to the average collector, but attract enthusiasts and error coin collectors who appreciate unique stories behind their purchases. The market for such coins is growing, and collectors are increasingly willing to invest in coins with documented damage or those that hold special historical significance. This interest drives the value up, and in auction markets, this coin could potentially sell for higher than its initial estimated value if it's recognized as a special or historical find. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny holds a special place in U.S. coinage history. During World War II, the U.S. government faced a copper shortage, which led to a significant shift in the material used for producing pennies. As copper was needed for ammunition and other war materials, the U.S. Mint began producing pennies using steel coated in zinc. This was a temporary measure to ensure the continued production of the 1-cent coin without using copper. The 1943 penny is particularly famous because it was the only year in which U.S. pennies were made from steel. Most of the 1943 pennies were minted with AD or S mint mark, indicating the Denver and San Francisco mints, but some rare 1943 pennies were struck without a mint mark, specifically those minted in Philadelphia. The lack of a mint mark on these coins further contributes to their value and rarity. The design of the 1943 Lincoln steel penny remained the same as the previous year. The obverse features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse showcases the classic wheat stalks design, also created by Brenner. The steel body of the coin, while visually striking, is the main difference compared to the traditional copper penny. The absence of copper in its composition made the 1943 steel penny more susceptible to corrosion, which is why many of these coins are found in bad condition. A penny in poor condition with a lot of wear and tear, including discoloration and corrosion, will typically have a much lower market value compared to a pristine example. The 1943 Lincoln steel penny was minted in large quantities with a total mintage of over 1 billion coins across all mints. However, due to the steel composition, many of these pennies became damaged, corroded, and worn down over the years. In bad condition, a 1943 steel penny without a mint mark can still hold a modest value. It's valued at auction $200,000, depending on the level of wear and market interest. Coins in bad condition, particularly those with visible corrosion or heavy damage, can still fetch decent prices at auction, especially if they are rare and have historical significance. Auction prices can fluctuate based on the condition, but rare variants of the 1943 steel penny are known to be in demand among collectors. Collectors are drawn to the 1943 Lincoln steel penny, not only because of its historical importance, but also due to its error varieties. The most famous error is the 1943 copper penny, which occurred when some copper planchettes from previous years were mistakenly fed into the 1943 steel penny presses. These errors are extremely valuable, but they are rare. A steel penny in bad condition with visible errors or anomalies may also attract interest from error coin enthusiasts. The 1943 steel penny continues to be a coin of interest due to its unique material, its connection to World War II, and its status as a transitional piece in U.S. coinage history. Even in bad condition, the historical context alone makes this coin a sought-after item in numismatic circles. Next up, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny with the ES mint mark is a particularly notable coin among collectors due to its rarity in certain conditions and its strong association with post-war America. Produced at the San Francisco Mint, it carries with it both a historical weight and significant collector interest. Despite being a coin from the late 1940s, it stands out due to its low mintage compared to other years, making it a prime candidate for coin enthusiasts and investors. The 1949 wheat penny falls within a period when the United States was transitioning from wartime to peacetime economy. This era saw significant changes in coin design and production. The Lincoln wheat cent, first introduced in 1909, was a lasting representation of American values and Abraham Lincoln's legacy. The 1949 edition, specifically with a large date and S mint mark, is tied to post-World War II inflation and economic shifts. During the late 1940s, there was an increased demand for pennies due to the booming economy, and yet the 1949 S was produced in smaller quantities compared to other years. The San Francisco Mint issued fewer coins, making this variety more valuable. However, most circulated examples show wear, adding to its rarity in high-grade conditions. The 1949 Lincoln wheat penny features the familiar design of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, crafted by Victor David Brenner, who designed the coin in 1909. The reverse showcases 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. The S mint mark, located beneath the date, is a distinct feature of this coin, marking it as produced in San Francisco. One of the design variations that collectors look for in the 1949 S large date is the size and positioning of the numbers in the date. The large date variety is distinct from the small date version because the numbers are slightly larger and spaced differently. This difference is important for identifying and valuing the coin. The 1949 S Lincoln Wheat Penny had a mintage of approximately 282 million coins. While this seems like a large number, most of these coins have been circulated, making high-grade examples increasingly rare. As of today, a circulated 1949 SE is typically worth between $30,000 depending on its condition, but the value increases significantly when it's in high-grade circulated or uncirculated condition. In today's market, a 1949 S Lincoln Wheat Penny in mint state can fetch several $100s at auction, depending on the specific grade and whether the coin has been certified by a grading service like PEDS or NCE. The 1949 S Wheat Penny doesn't have widespread error varieties, but collectors are always on the lookout for coins with unique features, such as double strikes or off-center prints, which can make these coins even more valuable. Many collectors focus on obtaining high-grade examples of the large date variety, as these are less common than the small date version. Due to its mintage and relatively low number of high-quality surviving examples, the 1949 S Penny enjoys strong demand among collectors looking to complete their sets of Lincoln Wheat Pennies. Next up, the 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny represents a period in U.S. coinage when the design of the Lincoln penny had been in circulation for nearly 2 decades. The wheat design, introduced in 1909, was created by Victor David Brenner and remained in use until 1958. The 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during the Great Depression, a challenging time for the U.S. economy. Despite the hardships, coin production continued, and the penny remained a crucial part of everyday currency. The 1937 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark, which indicates it was minted in Philadelphia, was produced in substantial quantities. However, the poor economic climate of the era and the high circulation of these coins meant that many 1937 pennies show signs of wear, damage, and discoloration over time. The design of the 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny is iconic, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. On the reverse 2 stalks of wheat frame, the words 1 cent, a design that became a hallmark of the coin for nearly 50 years. The simplicity and elegance of this design made it beloved by collectors. In terms of the red color and dirty condition of the coin, this could indicate the coin was heavily circulated, possibly exposed to the elements or stored improperly. While dirt and tarnish can sometimes be removed, a coin in this state often has lower market value due to the damage and the less than ideal preservation. The 1937 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark had a mintage of over 150 million coins, meaning it is not particularly rare. However, due to its age and the fact that many were lost or deteriorated over time, the remaining examples can have considerable value, especially those in better condition, in red or mint state condition. The 1937 penny can be worth around $286,000, but in dirty or damaged condition, the price might drop to a few dollars. While the 1937 penny is not known for significant errors, collectors still appreciate it for its historical context. The wear and damage found on a coin in dirty condition might reduce its marketability, but it can still attract interest from collectors focused on coinage, minting history, or other unique qualities. Coins with vivid red coloration, even when dirty, can sometimes pique the interest of collectors looking for coins with vibrant toning. Collectors of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series are particularly passionate about finding rare variations, even those with minor imperfections, as these coins provide insight into the history of USA currency. Some collectors even focus on uncleaned coins, as they are often seen as more original than polished examples. Next up, the 1930 Lincoln Wheat Penny is another sought-after coin, but what sets it apart from other years is its relative rarity and the significant demand among collectors. Unlike the 1949 S, the 1930 version was minted in large quantities, but the absence of a mint mark and the overall scarcity of high-quality circulated examples make this coin highly valuable today. The 1930 wheat penny was minted during the Great Depression, a time when the United States was struggling economically. The Lincoln wheat cent was still in production, with its classic design featuring the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. The 1930 issue reflects the nation's perseverance through hard times. With the economic downturn and coinage production declining, this particular year saw a high circulation rate, and many coins were worn down quickly in daily transactions. As a result, high-quality examples are now considered rarities. The 1930 Lincoln wheat penny shares the same design features as the rest of the series. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln is depicted in profile, while the reverse displays 2 stalks of wheat, a symbol of the nation's agricultural roots. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The design of the coin has remained consistent throughout the Lincoln wheat series, and this continuity has contributed to the coin's long-term appeal. Collectors also appreciate the simplicity and elegance of the design, which has been admired since the coin's introduction in 1909. In 1930, the U.S. Mint produced approximately 180 million pennies. While this is a large number by some standards, it is important to note that the Great Depression meant these coins were in constant circulation, leading to extensive wear. Today, a circulated 1930 penny can typically be found for $15,000, but the value can jump significantly for higher grades. At auction, a high-grade 1930 penny can sell for $100 to $500, especially if it's been certified by grading services such as P's or NC Keys or NC. Coins with unique features, such as unusual toning or slight errors, can command higher prices. While the 1930 Lincoln wheat penny is not known for major error varieties, collectors are still on the lookout for the rare double-die varieties or off-center strikes that can make these coins stand out in a collection. The appeal of the 1930 penny is heightened by the historical context of the Great Depression, adding a layer of historical significance to the coin's value. Next up, the 1918 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that may seem unassuming at first glance, but holds remarkable value due to its historical significance and unique features. Today, we'll be focusing on one that's not in perfect condition. It has some visible scratches, color fading, and damage. But even in such a state, this coin can still command impressive prices. The 1918 Lincoln wheat cent was minted as part of the ongoing series introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. The wheat penny, with its iconic wheat stalk reverse and bust of Lincoln on the obverse, is one of the most recognized designs in American numismatics, designed by Victor David Brenner. The image of Lincoln was the first time a president appeared on a U.S. coin, marking a significant departure from the previous design traditions. However, this particular 1918 penny, while common in many collections, is special because of its damaged condition and historical context. Many 1918 pennies have survived in pristine condition, but the real market value comes from how well the coin can tell its story, a story of age, usage, and preservation. The coin in question, in its damaged state, has a noticeable patina, some discoloration from oxidation, and a few scratches and abrasions on the surface, which make it more intriguing for collectors who are after coins with character. Even in its worn state, this coin holds intrinsic value due to its minting year during World War I, a pivotal time in American history. The 1918 penny is part of a series that continued to circulate during wartime, giving it an added layer of significance. The penny's color shade, which may range from reddish-brown to a more copper-toned shade, adds a unique visual aspect to this particular coin. Regarding mintage, the 1918 penny was struck in large numbers, with over 300 million pieces produced across various minting facilities. This made it one of the most accessible pennies for collectors, and many of them are found in circulated conditions today. The lack of a mint mark suggests that this particular coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the largest minting facility in the U.S. during this period. Now, despite the visible damage and imperfections, this coin still has immense collector interest. Depending on the auction market and its overall appeal to buyers, you could expect this particular 1918 wheat penny to fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s. especially when sold by a collector who appreciates the story behind a worn coin. Interestingly, coins like these, with visible damage, color variation, and surface wear, can sometimes attract collectors who are more interested in the history of the coin than its physical perfection. That said, the value largely depends on the severity of the scratches and the overall eye appeal of the coin. A severely scratched and damaged coin may see a drop in price, but coins that exhibit a natural aging process can sometimes see their values rise if they come from a rare or highly sought after year. In summary, while this 1918 wheat penny may not be in mint condition, it still holds a place in the hearts of collectors. The coin's historical significance, despite its wear, adds to its allure. Collectors continue to seek out coins like this one, willing to pay a premium for the right piece of numismatic history. Next up, the 1938 Lincoln wheat penny represents a significant point in American history, sitting in the midst of the Great Depression. The country was still reeling from the economic collapse of 1929, and this period saw a shift in how coins were produced and used. The 1930s were a time of great change, and the Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909, continued to feature the famous Lincoln portrait by Brenner on the obverse. The 1938 version of the Lincoln penny has been historically overlooked by collectors due to its relative abundance. However, the coin holds immense collector interest for certain features, such as the large date design, which has become a hallmark of this year. The obverse of the 1938 penny features the recognizable portrait of Abraham Lincoln, who has come to symbolize the very essence of American values. The reverse of the coin shows 2 stalks of wheat, which was the standard design until 1958, before being replaced with the Lincoln Memorial, the large date variation from 1938, which is often confused with other versions, is marked by the larger, more pronounced numbers. This design has become a key feature for collectors of wheat pennies. The large date of 1938 is one of the defining characteristics of this specific coin. As you observe the coin, you'll notice that the date appears much larger compared to other years. A defining feature that makes this penny stand out in a collection, the obverse remains the same as earlier years, with Lincoln's bust finely executed. The reverse, with its wheat stalks, is designed to reflect the agricultural heart of the United States during the 1930s. Approximately 100 million 1938 Lincoln pennies were produced, making them relatively common. However, coins in extra fine condition are rare, and those that are well maintained have become more valuable. Today, the average 1938 Lincoln penny in uncirculated condition can fetch anywhere from $66,000, but those in extra fine condition can command higher prices, around $63,000. For collectors who are seeking pristine versions of the 1938 Lincoln penny, it's essential to examine the condition closely. The most valuable ones will have sharp details, minimal wear, and a deep, even color without significant scratches. The large date variant of the 1938 penny has captivated collectors for years due to its rarity and unique design. While this coin doesn't carry any major errors, its status as a key date in the Lincoln series makes it a highly desirable item for collectors. As time progresses, the market for these coins only grows, driven by the collector's passion for preserving pieces of American history. Next up, we have a 1950 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and the S mint mark, which means it was minted at the San Francisco Mint. This coin is a true gem in fine condition, and it's a great example of the intricate history and value of U.S. pennies. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the final years of the wheat cent series before the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial cent in 1959. By this time, the coin's design had been in circulation for over 4 decades, and it had seen many changes in the American economy, from the Great Depression to World War II and the post-war boom. Despite being a coin that was produced in high numbers, the 1950 penny has become quite valuable in certain grades. Unlike the 1918 penny we discussed earlier, this 1950 coin is in much better condition, with fine details and clear features. The coin's design, featuring Abraham Lincoln's bust on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, remains as striking as ever. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, has been a symbol of American unity and resilience for decades. What makes this 1950 penny particularly notable is its large date. Some coins from 1950, especially the EI small date variety, are known for being somewhat rarer. However, the large date version, which is more common, still attracts strong demand in fine or higher grades. The IS mint mark indicates that this penny was minted in San Francisco, which adds another layer of rarity to the coin. Production of the 1950 penny was substantial, with over 200 million coins minted at the Philadelphia Mint and a smaller number at the San Francisco Mint. The San Francisco Mint produced around 28 million of these coins, making the S-Mint version slightly less common than the Philadelphia counterpart. This fact alone can drive up demand among collectors. In terms of market value, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny with the S-Mint mark in fine condition can fetch anywhere between $20,000 depending on the demand at auction. Coins that are in better than average condition, such as those with very fine details or with minor toning, can sell for a premium, upwards of $50 or more. So, if you're lucky enough to have one of these coins in your collection, you may want to hold on to it and see how the market develops over time. Market value error and collector interest. While the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny might not be the rarest penny in existence, the version with the S mint mark and in good to fine condition holds collector appeal. Errors in minting, such as double die varieties, can further enhance the coin's value. These minor misprints or off-center strikes can elevate the coin's worth to well beyond the typical price range. So, if you're a collector or investor, checking for these errors could be a worthwhile endeavor. Next up, the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny is a key coin in the Abraham Lincoln series of cents. It marks the last year of the famous wheat reverse design, a look that graced pennies from 1909 to 1958, before the switch to the memorial reverse in 1959. However, within the 1958 series, a specific variant stands out: the large date with the D mint mark, particularly when found in very fine condition. The 1958 penny was issued during a transitional period in U.S. history. It was the final year of the iconic wheat reverse design, which had been in production for nearly 50 years. This coin was minted in a post-Y economic boom, a period where the United States was experiencing rapid industrialization and economic growth. The 1958 wheat pennies, though still part of everyday currency, were not produced in the same vast quantities as earlier years, which helps explain their higher value today. The obverse of the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side, however, is the most iconic part of the coin, featuring two stalks of wheat flanking the words 1 cent and the inscription United States of America. On the 1958 coins, the large date variant is easily distinguishable from its small date counterpart. The difference lies in the size of the numerals on the date. The large date is the more commonly found variety, while the small date is the rarer version, adding to the allure and value of the coin. The D mint mark on this coin indicates that it was minted at the Denver Mint. This mint mark is crucial for collectors as it denotes a different coin production source and can slightly alter the coin's market value. In 1958, approximately 1.3 billion Lincoln pennies were minted across the country, with the D mint mark accounting for a significant portion of these. However, the sheer volume of coins produced doesn't always correlate with market value, as the coin's condition plays a crucial role. In very fine condition, the 1958 large date with the D mint mark can fetch anywhere between $10,000, depending on the exact quality. However, higher quality specimens in mint state can see values surge significantly, particularly when they're sold at auction. In the auction market, the value of this coin can climb even higher. The price depends on factors such as the coin's provenance, the rarity of high-grade examples, and the level of demand at a particular time. Coins that exhibit the original sheen, sharp details, and minimal wear are especially valuable, as collectors place a premium on condition. The 1958 penny isn't known for many major errors, but a few notable variations exist. Collectors often pay attention to coins with unusual die cracks or overstrikes, but these are rare. However, The coin is still highly sought after for its place in the Lincoln penny series, its connection to the post-YE era, and the overall appeal of the large date variety. Next up, we have the 1938 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and a DD mint mark. A coin that might not immediately come to mind when thinking of top-tier collectibles, yet its rarity, significance, and historical context have propelled it into the realm of high-value coins. The 1938 Lincoln wheat cent was minted during the Great Depression, a period that saw economic hardship for much of the United States. These coins were struck to continue financing the government's day-to-day operations and were primarily used for everyday transactions. The Lincoln wheat cent was first introduced in 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1938 coinage, though not the most significant in terms of major changes, marked the final years of the Lincoln wheat series, before the switch to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The large date variety of the 1938 coin is particularly of interest because of its sharp contrast with the smaller date varieties issued in other years. The presence of the AED mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is significant because coins minted there tend to have slightly higher value due to their more limited production in comparison to those struck at other mints, such as Philadelphia. The mintage of the 1938 Lincoln penny was a substantial 309,603,000 coins, which means that, on the surface, this coin may seem common. However, it's important to note that not all coins survive in pristine condition. As time goes on, most coins end up being lost, damaged, or simply worn down from circulation. This is where the rarity and value of the 1938 Lincoln wheat penny with AD mint mark come into play. In circulated condition, these pennies are not incredibly rare, but the value is dependent on factors such as wear, the preservation of key details, and the demand from collectors. For example, a 1938 penny in circulated condition with AID mint mark can fetch around $47,000, but when in better condition or with unique features, it can reach much higher prices. The 1938 Lincoln wheat penny with AD mint mark is highly sought after by collectors, especially those focusing on completing their wheat penny sets. While the coin's mintage numbers suggest it was produced in large quantities, the demand for well-preserved examples has made it an attractive piece in the market. In today's auction market, depending on its grade, a 1938 Lincoln wheat penny with a AD mint mark can fetch values ranging from $1 to upwards of $25 or more for higher grade coins. Coins in lower circulated grades are on the more affordable end, but those in fine or better conditions can command impressive prices. Additionally, coins with any unique errors, such as double dies or other striking anomalies, can drive prices even higher. For instance, a 1938 penny with a noticeable die crack or double die can attract premiums, sometimes bringing in $100,000 or more, depending on the severity of the error. To wrap up on the 1938 Lincoln wheat penny with AD mint mark, this coin is a great example of how a seemingly common coin can carry significant value depending on its condition, errors, and the interest from collectors. Whether you're just starting your collection or you're looking for an affordable but valuable piece, this penny deserves a place in any collection. Next up, the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny emerged in the post-World War IUA era, a time of recovery and optimism in the United States. With the war ending just 2 years prior, the U.S. economy was booming, and coins like the 1947 penny were a staple of everyday transactions. The Denver Mint, which produced the D mint mark variant, played a vital role in supplying coins to the western United States. This coin reflects the enduring legacy of the Lincoln wheat cent series and its role in American history. The reverse side retains the classic wheat ears design, emphasizing the coin's connection to agricultural heritage. The inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America dominate the reverse, with a pluribus unum arcing above. The Denver Mint produced approximately 194,750,000 coins in 1947, making it a relatively common issue. However, finding a 1947 penny in unique conditions, such as a mix of dirtiness on the obverse and fine details on the reverse, is highly unusual. This specific condition creates a niche interest among collectors who appreciate coins with distinct characteristics or unique stories. In today's auction market, a 1947 D penny in average circulated condition typically sells for $43,000. However, coins with unusual conditions, such as dirt or partial toning, can fetch $44,000 depending on their eye appeal. For higher-grade examples in mint state, prices range from $46,000, with exceptional specimens commanding even higher premiums. Rare errors, such as double-die obverses or repunched mint marks, can dramatically increase the coin's value. The 1947 D penny is a popular choice among collectors due to its availability and historical context. Its unique condition, with dirtiness on one side and finer details on the other, makes it a conversation piece and a prized addition to any Lincoln wheat cent collection. Next up, we're looking at the 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and an S mint mark. This coin is a standout in the wheat penny series due to its minting history and its role as a key date in collectors' sets. The year 1952 was a post-World War IEI period in the United States, where the country was experiencing a recovery from the war's economic strains. The Lincoln wheat penny, which had been in circulation for over 40 years at this point, was still widely used in daily transactions. It was also a time of change for coinage, as the U.S. Mint began focusing on new coinage designs, though the Lincoln wheat penny would remain unchanged for several more years. The 1952 penny was issued with both large and small date varieties, with the large date being the more common of the two. The AASE's mint mark signifies that the coin was minted in San Francisco, which was known for producing coins with a distinct look due to the mint's unique handling of dies and the final strikes. Just like other coins in the Lincoln wheat series, the 1952 penny features Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the year 1952, and the obverse with the year 1952 and the Aussie's mint mark beneath the portrait. The reverse features the familiar stalks of wheat surrounding the inscription 1 cent with United States of America and a pluribus unum surrounding it. One of the design highlights of this coin is the clarity of Lincoln's profile, which in higher grades stands out beautifully. The S mint mark gives this coin a particular appeal, especially for collectors who are focusing on mints, specific varieties of the wheat penny. The mintage of the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny with NAS mint mark was just over 134 million coins, making it relatively common in terms of availability. However, as with any coin, the true rarity is determined by the condition in which it survives. Many of the 1952 pennies were heavily circulated, meaning finding a specimen in fine condition or better can be a real challenge. This makes higher grade examples of the 1952 penny with an AS's mint mark more desirable to collectors. The market value of the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny with NAS's mint mark fluctuates based on condition. In circulated condition, you can expect this coin to be worth between $67,000. However, when you look at examples in fine or better condition, the value jumps significantly. In fine condition, this coin can fetch between $65,000 to $5, while those graded at higher levels can see values in the $70,000 range. Mint state examples can reach values of $80,000 or more, particularly when they come with exceptional eye appeal or are certified by professional grading services. Additionally, coins with rare errors like die cracks or double strikes will significantly increase in value, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars at auction. The 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the S mint mark is a great example of how a common coin can become a highly sought after piece based on its condition, minting location, and error potential. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, this coin is definitely one to watch in the world of coin collecting. First up, the 1911 Abraham Lincoln wheat cent is a treasured relic from the early 20th century, marking an era when the United States was evolving both socially and economically. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin belongs to the first decade of the Lincoln wheat cent series, which began in 1909. The series was introduced to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a historical figure. By 1911, Lincoln's image on the penny had become a beloved symbol of American values, and the coin was widely circulated. This year also marked a period of industrial growth and urbanization in the U.S., which contributed to the coin's widespread use. The obverse side of the 1911 penny showcases a detailed portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Above his head is the word Liberty, while the motto "In God We Trust" is prominently displayed along the top rim. The date, 1911, is positioned to the right of Lincoln's profile. On the reverse side, the coin features the classic wheat ears design, with 1 cent and United States of America inscribed in bold letters. The wheat ears symbolize agricultural prosperity and the nation's rural roots. Surrounding the design is the Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," meaning out of many, one. The 1911 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia, with a total mintage of approximately 101,177,000 coins. While this number might seem high, the coin's survival rate in good condition is relatively low, especially after more than a century of circulation. Coins in circulated condition often show significant wear, particularly on the high points of Lincoln's profile and the wheat ears. Finding a well-preserved 1911 penny without a mint mark is a challenge, making it a sought-after piece among collectors. In today's auction market, the value of a 1911 wheat cent without a mint mark in circulated condition ranges from $99,000, depending on the degree of wear and eye appeal. However, coins in higher grades, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, can fetch prices of $98,000 or more. Notably, errors such as off-center strikes or die cracks can significantly increase the coin's value. For instance, a 1911 wheat cent with a prominent error could sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. The 1911 Lincoln wheat cent appeals to a broad audience of collectors, from beginners to advanced enthusiasts. Its historical significance, coupled with its beautiful design and affordability in lower grades, makes it a cornerstone of many coin collections. Next up, the 1942 Abraham wheat 1-cent coin, often referred to as the Lincoln wheat penny, was minted during a period of global unrest. The United States was deeply involved in World War I, and the penny's design was meant to honor the nation's 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. While the coin's basic design would remain the same throughout the 1940s, 1942 is notable for its role in a transitioning economy, as copper resources were increasingly diverted for war efforts. The 1942 coin with the D mint mark was struck in Denver, which is important for collectors because mint marks add to the uniqueness and rarity of a particular coin, especially when it's tied to specific regions. This particular penny, though, is often found in less than perfect condition, making it even more exciting for collectors who want to find well-preserved examples. The obverse of the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse of the coin shows 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural strength. However, this particular coin, dirty and with a reddish color shade, has been affected by age, storage conditions, and perhaps even environmental exposure, which changes the tone and look of the coin's surface. The reddish hue is typically associated with copper oxidation or tarnishing, and these unique features can increase a coin's appeal, especially for collectors interested in toned or aged examples. The 1942 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in large quantities, with the Denver Mint producing over 430 million pennies that year. However, despite the high mintage, a coin in dirty condition with an interesting color hue could see a sharp increase in value if it's part of a unique find. The market value for this coin in such a condition can vary, depending on its overall grade and any specific errors it may possess. But collectors often look for pieces with unique attributes, like unusual toning or minor errors that add to the coin's story. Coins with unique patinas like this one can see prices ranging anywhere from $88,000 or even more, depending on auction dynamics, provenance, and rarity at the time of sale. Errors in this coin can significantly impact its value. For example, if the coin has been struck incorrectly, such as off-center or with a double die, its price can rise dramatically. Although most 1942 pennies were mass-produced, special error coins from this era can attract attention from collectors. The coin's color shade, which may seem dirty but is in fact a sign of natural aging or a result of exposure to certain elements, can create unique visual effects that make it more desirable. The collector interest lies in finding these uniquely aged or colored examples, which have become a niche within the broader coin collecting market. Thanks for joining us, Happy. Next up, the 1951 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark is a unique coin, especially when it is found with a red color shade and in dirty condition. This coin carries not only the weight of history, but also the intrigue of collectors who are drawn to its rich heritage. To understand the value of this coin in today's market, we must first delve into its design features, historical significance, and rarity. The Lincoln wheat penny, first introduced in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose design became iconic. The 1951 coin falls into a period of the mid-20th century, a time when the U.S. was recovering from the impacts of World War II. The series continued the tradition of honoring Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, who is featured on the obverse of the coin. The 1951 issue, specifically the version with the large date and S mint mark, was minted at the San Francisco Mint. It is an example of the mid-century production, which was characterized by large production numbers, making many of these coins common in circulation. However, due to the nature of coin preservation and market interest, certain conditions and variants have become highly sought after. In this specific variant, the coin is noted for its red color shade, which indicates that it has maintained a high level of its original copper luster, making it more visually appealing to collectors. The dirty condition, though not ideal for many collectors, does not diminish the fact that this coin is a unique find. It is an example of a piece that may have been heavily circulated, giving it a distinctive patina while still holding on to some of its original appeal. The 1951 Lincoln penny had a large mintage across 3 mints: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D Mint Mark, and San Francisco S Mint Mark. The total mintage for the San Francisco variety was approximately 73 million coins. However, the appeal of specific mint marks, like the S Mint Mark and the coin's condition, can make all the difference in its value. While many of these coins were produced, the 1951 S's variant is less commonly found in pristine or higher grade conditions, particularly in dirty or toned states like the one we are discussing. This gives it a certain market value, especially when collectors seek coins with distinctive features or imperfections. As of today, the value of a 1951 S Lincoln wheat penny in a red color shade and dirty condition can vary based on the specific circumstances of the coin. Generally, it can fetch between $287,000 in standard circulation. However, coins with particular toning, unique conditions, or noticeable flaws can sometimes be valued at $300,000 or even higher, depending on demand at auctions and how much collectors are willing to pay. The market for dirty or toned coins has grown over the years, particularly among collectors who specialize in unique characteristics, making these coins sought after for their rarity and interesting visual appearance. Dirty or toned coins might not attract the highest grades in terms of traditional numismatic value, but they still have a significant market appeal. Though the 1951 S coin itself doesn't carry any widely known minting errors, toning and dirt accumulation can sometimes lead to error, like appearances, making the coin even more intriguing. For example, a particularly off-center strike or discoloration caused by environmental exposure might be mistaken for a minting error, adding to the coin's desirability. Many collectors find great value in coins that display distinctive features like this, as they might represent a piece of history with a unique story. The dirty condition or red shade makes this coin a unique item to have in one's collection. As the market for specialized coins continues to grow, more collectors are focusing on these variations, increasing the demand and potential value of the 1951. Snap any thanks for watching Happy Collecting.